Hey everyone, thank you for joining us and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Frank DiCarlo with PCL Solutions, and joining me today is Ben Coulomb from Rhombus Systems. Thanks again for taking some time out today, Ben.
Thank you as well, Frank. Thanks for having us. And thanks for joining everybody.
This webinar is an exciting one and something many of us have been keeping a close eye on. How artificial intelligence and hybrid cloud secures your organization and physical security. PCL has recently partnered with Rhombus, and we couldn't be more excited. Their state-of-the-art technology platform leverages smart security cameras that simplifies infrastructure and delivers lightning-fast, quick performance. The demand for security cameras from our clients since partnering has greatly increased, and the installations have gone seamlessly. The clients are thrilled. Looking forward to learning even more today, and for everyone to see the latest in what Rhombus has to offer. For those of us on the webinar that aren't aware of PCL Solutions, first off, welcome. If you haven't worked with us before, I'm going to spend a few minutes just speaking on behalf of the company, but anxious to get to the meat of the webinar. So everybody's muted. This is a question and answer webinar live, but feel free to enter your questions at any time throughout the webinar through the Q&A icon. Stick around to the end and you'll have an opportunity to schedule a one-on-one demo and consultation with PCL and Rhombus to evaluate your security needs. At that time, we'll be happy to send you a free Hydro Flask or a $25 Amazon gift card. If you cannot receive free gifts, no problem. Just let me know via chat or the email. So let's first get started with a brief overview of PCL Solutions. That's what we'll start with first. Then we'll followed by Ben, who'll be speaking and demonstrating the benefits of Rhombus camera systems. We'll save some time at the end for questions. So again, don't hesitate to enter them throughout the webinar on the Q&A icon. So let's get started. PCL Solutions, we're based in New Jersey, and our mission, quite simply, is to provide end-to-end IT support to better manage, innovate, and scale business objectives and creative infrastructures. We complement existing IT staff so that your clients, our partners, can concentrate on their core competencies. IT does not have to be complex. And if there's anything we hear over and over again, is how well our team work with existing IT staff so that everybody wins. Our system engineers and staff maintain up-to-date knowledge about the latest technological solutions and have an exceptional advantage in providing the skills to address every IT and workflow situation. We make complex IT simple. We know that every business has unique needs and challenges, and for obvious reasons, created specific virtual teams to cater to the working from home. Remote access is more important than ever, whether that falls in line with our workstation monitoring systems, that's for individual desktops as well as its users, or if it falls under our critical systems monitoring that specifically closely observes servers and networks. It's important to us and to our clients that everything is running smoothly and with little hiccup. So again, our partners can focus on their core business. Our mission is to provide end-to-end IT support to better manage, innovate, scale business objectives, and creative infrastructures. PCL Solutions provides worry-free IT management and advisory services to grow your business and improve time to market. We employ a tailored approach. We study business frameworks, doing needs assessments, practicing regular governance, and keeping us up to date with our clients' challenges, and working together to resolve those. Leveraging our knowledge and along the way, our expertise to maximize the performance of our clients' networks and workflows. Managed IT services are rapidly replacing traditional information technology. It is the practice of outsourcing the responsibility for maintaining and anticipating the need for a range of IT processes and functions in order to improve operations and cut expenses. The question for your organization may be, how much is your internal IT staff working in the business rather than on the business? Our concentration is to be proactive rather than having our clients be reactive when it comes to IT concerns. We excel in customer support and make sure everything is running smoothly. Happy employees make for better business and enhanced productivity. And that's a tangible business return on investment. Ransomware. More and more, we find ourselves focusing on the increasing demand for enhanced security and ransomware solutions. It's predicted that ransomware costs will exceed 20 billion over the next year. That's an alarming statistic and a growing problem. To stay ahead of cyber attacks, we need to evolve faster than they do. We now deliver a security platform powered by AI that autonomously prevents, detects, and responds. It's really incredible. We defeat attacks every second of every day. We make complex IT simple. Just one or two more points I want to bring to everybody's attention regarding PCL. We have exceptional customer service support alongside our top-tier IT infrastructure. Our system engineers and staff are not only some of the best in the business, but best in the metropolitan area. In our company, together, we offer 75 years of experience. We possess 3 world-class co-locations, data centers that communicate all over the US and globally. We provide managed, private, and co-location hosting. I highly recommend that you request a tour to see our facilities. So I appreciate the opportunity to speak a bit about PCL, but now it's time to get to the reason that we're all here today, and that's to learn more about Rhombus Systems, security cameras. So with that, Ben, I'm going to hand it over to you.
Thank you, Frank, and thank you for the good introduction with PCL, one of our top partners, and we're thankful to do business with you guys. So my name is Ben. I'm calling out of the California area, and also joining us by proxy is Angela. She's our Brooklyn-based account executive, and so if you have needs in the New York, New Jersey area, we've got boots on the ground to help everybody out. In tandem, of course, with PCL. Let me go ahead and share my screen. I'm going to do a brief PowerPoint, helping everybody understand the Rhombus Solutions and who we are as a company. I promise not to do death by a PowerPoint. We'll very quickly just jump over to the console itself. All right, let's see here. Let me just go ahead and go slides. Frank, if you don't mind, just letting me know you can see my screen. Perfect. Okay, Rhombus Systems, we're based out of Sacramento, California. For those of you not familiar, it's Northern California. It's the state capital for California. Since our inception, we've grown 3x year over year. And why do we think we do that? It's because our customers are our sun. Everything that we do revolves around our customers. We don't just do security cameras, but we do integrated IoT sensors. So we create this unrivaled physical security, whether that's cameras, whether that's door sensors, temperature sensors, sound detection for glass breaking or gunshots or trigger words like help, save me, something like that. So we have this complete solution for physical security. Jumping to the next slide, a little bit about Rhombus Systems. Since our inception in 2015, we've grown three times year over year. We're backed by top tier investors, Coda Capital. MSD is Dell Capital. So this small little company called Dell Technologies put their faith in us, saying that we're doing pretty good at what we're doing. And Lemnos Labs. We're a global organization. We have presence in 6 out of the 7 continents today, and we've got 10,000 locations deployed across the globe. We are cloud-based, and so if you guys are wondering about our data centers, we've got 20 data centers globally to cover all major countries. A little bit about our Rhombus partners. Our smallest partners can have 1 camera. Our largest partners have over 7,000 cameras. So some of our largest customers to date would be Cushman & Wakefield at almost 60,000 employees. And then some of our largest customers by camera count is Luxor One. They do smart lockers. They have about 7,000 cameras across about 5,000 locations. So the advantage with cloud is that it doesn't change your architecture. You don't have to do an NVR or a server or a DVR at every single location. The cameras themselves are the NVR. And so our architecture is scalable. Whether you have 1 camera or 10,000 cameras, we can fit all of your needs. A little bit about the cloud-based architecture. On the left-hand side is your traditional video surveillance. And on the right-hand side, it represents the cloud architecture. What Rhombus has said, and what our founding team has said, is we look at all this equipment on the left-hand side and we say, hey, there's a better way to do it. So what we've done is we've taken the NVR technology, the DVR technology, and we've baked it inside of the camera itself. So the camera is doing all of the heavy lifting. So you're not replacing any equipment. What you're doing is substituting it and putting it in a different location. So the camera does all the heavy lifting, mixed in with your IoT sensors and third-party integrations. It pings back to the cloud. And then from the cloud, everything is accessible on your iPhone, your Android phone, or even your remote laptop. Moving along to the next slide. Rhombus Systems integrates with best-in-breed solutions. So if you're looking at access control, if you're looking at cloud-based storage, if you're looking at any type of API integration that's best of breed, we have over 200 different integrations today to help enhance your physical security space. So here's an example on your mobile phone. We integrate with a company like OpenPath, which does access control and says, hey, Susan, enter the hallway. And then you can also get a notification from Rhombus Systems. So giving you 2 layers of security there to give you that total picture of who's coming and going, and then what the footage would look like on your iPhone or Android phone. This is a graphic that shows an example of how everything works together in one single solution. So somebody badges in the office, or somebody badges in at a school, or somebody badges in at the healthcare organization, or whatever organization that you would represent. There's controlled access. And so you badge in here, it pings back to the Rhombus cloud. We create these digital breadcrumbs, for lack of a better word, but we're creating these index points that say, hey, Ben walked in the office, Ben's badge matches the name, the face matches the name of the badge. This is authorized access. And so everything is business as usual. Now, if I took Frank's badge, but it's my face, I walk into the organization, it says badge name mismatch. You'll get an alert right away that there's unauthorized access. You can pull it up on your iPhone, your Android phone, you can pull it up on your laptop and see exactly what's going on. So it's this theme of being proactive and not reactive. A little bit about our technology, our AI and machine learning algorithms. At a high level, we have facial recognition and mask detection. The great thing about a cloud-based architecture is that before COVID hit, we just had facial recognition and a small presence in mask detection for our healthcare organizations and quarantine rooms and making sure that people are being sanitary. COVID happens and now masks are required everywhere. So we just push out an update to the cloud. It goes to all of our customers. And now our cameras can tell you if there's somebody not wearing a mask in the organization, if it's required. Vehicle and license plate recognition as well. So if you need to find a blue truck, a white sedan, if you need to just type in 5550, it all will live within your database. And you can basically, you can look at your archived footage with a scalpel and not a hatchet. We give you all the tools to be effective and efficient. Unique visitor and crowd counting. This is generally for our retail customers or somebody that has a consumer-based organization where you want to understand the demographics of your client base. So I walk into a store and it says, hey, this is Ben, he's visiting. So you know your peak traffic, you know your off times, you know your down times, you know your busy times, so you can staff accordingly, or if you just want to know your demographics in your customer base. Unusual behavior detection. I don't want to get too much into a technical rabbit hole, but effectively the cameras are mini computers and we utilize this technology called computer vision. So we're teaching the camera what we see and we're applying it to the camera and teaching it that this is a human. And if we look at what the camera sees, it's actually polygon shapes. So it's normal for someone to walk in an office. It's normal for someone to sit at their desk. It's not normal for someone to lay inverted on the floor. So once the camera detects unusual behavior, we send you a notification right away saying this is unusual. You get that notification to your phone or you get it to your computer and you can investigate proactively at the time. So the theme here is that you have all of this granular visibility into your organization to either A, protect the safety of the employees or to protect the integrity of the office if there's a worker's incident. Easy to use investigative tools. I'll show that in our demonstration today. But effectively what we're doing is that if I walk in front of a camera, it doesn't know who Ben is because that would be breaking laws, but I can tag it and say, hey, this is Ben. And then anytime I walk within that organization, it'll put my facial recognition into the database. So anytime I want to look for Ben, all I have to do is go to his facial profile. The last thing in our AI technology is region and color search. Region and color search represents items or articles of clothing. And so if there's an incident at my organization, I don't know who the person was, but I know that they were wearing a red t-shirt. All I have to do is say, Rhombus, show me all human activity with a red t-shirt. And then we'll quickly populate every single instance that has a red t-shirt. The last thing that I wanted to share before jumping into the console is why Rhombus. So again, cloud-based architecture, unlimited devices, unlimited users, the physical security on autopilot. That just means that you get real-time visibility, proactive alerts, and AI-powered events. We find that the organizations that deploy our architecture have a more effective and a more efficient way of leveraging their staff. So there's less time scrubbing through footage and more time doing things that you would prefer to do instead of just looking through archives of video. Additionally, we're an industry leader in low bandwidth consumption. We all know in the IT world that bandwidth is not an unlimited commodity. There's a lot of times where you have to throttle things, you have to take them off of your network, and you're constantly doing this game of cat and mouse where you're trying to throttle and dethrottle and prioritize all of your devices. With Rhombus Systems, that's not necessary. Because of our low bandwidth consumption, we find that our clients never have to prioritize bandwidth consumption. And then today, just to give everybody peace of mind for cloud-based architecture, but as of right now, during this presentation, we have 0 breaches or identified vulnerabilities from our cloud-based architecture. So when it comes to security itself, cybersecurity and privacy protection, we're as good as it gets. Okay, I'm going to transition here to the goods. All right, let me go ahead and jump over here, and I'll go ahead and now I'm sharing my console. Frank, can you just give me a thumbs up, please? All right, fantastic. So this is the Rhombus console. It's all web-based interface. So you just go to console.rhombussystems.com, you log in with your credentials, and then it finds your location. Now, again, cloud-based architecture, you can have as many locations as you need. Right now, it's showing me our HQ, and all I have to do if I want to tab over to a different location is I just have to tab over like this. One of my favorite features with Rhombus Systems is that we don't force you to play by our rules. We want to learn your rules, and then you tell us how everything works. So we're one of the only cloud-based physical security and on-premise physical security organizations that give you the ability to customize your dashboard. Now, let's just say for myself, I care about facial recognition for our environment. However, Frank and his organization doesn't like the idea of facial recognition, doesn't want his employees to feel like they're being watched. Frank can just get rid of this and say, you know what, we don't want facial recognition. So we're not forcing you to do everything. We want to learn what your rules are, and we want to adhere to those rules. So when I log in, I can see recent faces. However, when Frank logs in, he has a much different landing page. And so that's unique to every individual based on your own login credentials. Every time you log in, you'll automatically see your own unique console. From left to right here, this is our network status. Another thing that we're extremely proud of is that we're one of the only organizations out there that has proactive customer service. Meaning, if one of your cameras goes down and it needs attention, we're automatically filing a help ticket for you. And one of our customer success engineers or customer support team will be reaching out to you saying, Frank, it looks like you have a camera down. Would you like us to assist remotely, or would you like to get some boots on the ground? And that's when our fantastic partners at PCL will help us. So again, just to recap, we're one of the only organizations out there that has proactive customer service. And so anytime something happens, you get a notification and we get a notification, making sure that your MTTR, so mean time to response, is as quick as possible and that there's 0 delay in your cameras. Recent alerts. This is just kind of your coffee cup browser here. So if I just need to see what's going on, it looks like there's some after hours activity. I can just see that there's very quickly somebody just going through the door at 8:07 p.m., which is after hours. I can get a notification to my phone or to my laptop, notifying me exactly what's going on in our environment. Again, that theme of proactiveness. Facial recognition, we'll talk about that a little bit further. But as you can see, you have individuals coming and going from the office. And if anybody just kind of pops up and says, hey, I don't recognize who this individual is, I can just go straight to the footage and I can see exactly what's going on. Again, you're managing your cameras with a scalpel and not a hatchet. In a previous life, if there was an incident, I would basically just sit in front of a video camera and hit 5X and fast forward or rewind. It's not a good use of my time. License plate recognition, the same thing that we're doing for faces. We have unique identifiers for license plates. If I say, hey, I don't know what this license plate is that ends in 630, I can pull it up right away. Camera feeds, if you want to prioritize and look at different camera feeds, all you have to do is just add them right here. So the point is that we're trying to give you this central location, this single pane of glass of all of your information that's important for you. And the other things that aren't important for you, they'll live inside of this left-hand column here, which I'll be going through shortly. The last thing that I want to talk about on this landing page is our people analytics, our vehicle analytics, and different trends in bandwidth. So we're not a retail organization, but if I wanted to know my demographics, I could very easily say, okay, all of our individuals are going through, let me just start checking these boxes. I'm just going to uncheck these. The majority of our traffic is going through the front entry faces. As I check these boxes, I can see the different tickers for where's the activity and all of that. So your cameras aren't just doing security monitoring for safety, but we're also providing you customer analytics, deep, rich analytics to understand your user base. So where are people coming and going? Where are the peak times of the day? This is a fantastic feature for a lot of our retail organizations. They use this to prioritize their staff. Hey, should we have 10 people working on a Tuesday morning? Because we're so busy on a Saturday, maybe we should have 40 people on staff to meet our customers' needs. The same thing I showed you with people, you can do with vehicles. This is very popular with our fast food restaurants. We work with this organization called Blake's Lottaburgers, and in their drive-throughs, they can see exactly when people are driving through. So in retail organizations, we all know that they have door swings. You can ticker that. You can see exactly all the individuals coming and going through the doors. However, drive-throughs are a little bit of a different challenge. And so we give you those rich analytics to understand where your car traffic is. Now that's just a retail use case. There's a lot of other private organizations that don't have consumer-based customers where we can also talk about those use cases also. So feel free to ask any questions in the chat and we'll make sure to address those at the end of the meeting. Alert trends, you can just see this is facial recognition, what kind of things are trending in our organization. And then bandwidth consumption. So I talked in the presentation about how we're a market leader in low bandwidth consumption. I kind of come from the world where talk is cheap, put your money where your mouth is. So all I have to do right here is say, okay, where's the apex of my network bandwidth consumption? So you can see here with over 50 different cameras and I think 30 different sensors, our bandwidth consumption at an apex is not even going over 1 megabyte per second. We have a lot of different ways where our algorithms learn about your network architecture, and we're offloading things during non-peak times, so off-hour times. I'm happy to talk about that in one-off conversations about how we leverage all of that. But you can see right here, our apex for our network consumption for our cameras is not even cresting over 1 megabit per second. So it's something that we're extremely proud of.
That is so impressive, Ben.
Thank you. Yeah,
it really is. I mean, I know there's compression going on there, but it astounds me that that's the bandwidth it's consuming. It's wild.
Yeah, thank you. I mean, Frank, this because we partner up with best-in-class organizations, but this is something that we're extremely proud of. And in no way do we think that we're a finished product. We're constantly trying to push the envelope to get even better, to serve our customers better. Okay, all right. I'm going to quickly describe how our users work. Our architecture is you can have one person to log in, or you can have 1,000 people to log in. So you can create users for super admin where Frank and I can see every single camera in the organization. However, maybe I have one person that only needs to see one camera. Maybe I have a security team that needs to see cameras but doesn't have access to do any administration stuff. So you can create different users that have different permissions at a granular level that is going to meet every single need that you have. So let's say that I'm a school district. I want to make sure that my principal has access to school A, but not school B. All you have to do is just go user management, add that person in the console, and then go role management and say, hey, this person gets access to this. This person doesn't get access to all that. You can slice and dice it however you want for your organization. So again, we give you granular access for how you're looking at the cameras. Okay, let's jump into a camera itself. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 different cameras in the organization today. I'm going to do a forward-facing mini dome for our interior camera. I'm going to do a 360-degree digital pan tilt zoom, so a fisheye, and then I'm going to do a exterior camera bullet lens to demonstrate our license plate recognition as well. So if I jump into the console here, I've got grid view, excuse me, and if I want to go list view, I can do that as well. I can see the network status. I prefer the grid view, and whenever I'm looking for a camera, I just go keyword search here, and I just type in the camera I'm looking for. This is a reception office here, and what you're noticing is you have this time bar here, and you're saying, big deal, everybody's got time bars. However, we are one of the only organizations that color coordinate any activity point in your organization. So if I just hover over this, I can see activity points where it says door closed, door opened, human movement. So let's go to another day with more traffic, and we can see what that looks like with busier times. So we can say, hey, take a look at yesterday morning. I need to see who was the first person in the office because they left the door open and money doesn't grow on trees and we're not trying to heat up the neighborhood. So I can very quickly see that this is the first person in the environment. Looks like at 8:03 in the morning. And I can just say, hey, yeah, you left the door open. But again, to my point is that you're monitoring your cameras with a scalpel and not a hatchet. We're taking out the guesswork. So I can see all this human activity just by pointing and clicking. And hopefully what you're noticing is a few things. Number one, I'm just doing this demonstration with my MacBook Air. It's not even a very impressive laptop. Constantly ask my boss for a better laptop. And I'm just using my home Wi-Fi. But if you look at how fast this all works, I'm just pointing and clicking and all of the footage is updating with just a few seconds here. That goes back to our low bandwidth consumption and how we're prioritizing the network itself. And then you can see these bounding boxes for human movement. We do the same thing with vehicle movement as well. So if I want to say, Rhombus, show me only human movement, I can uncheck all these other boxes. And now I'm just doing human movement. I can zoom in and look at something at different minutes of the day. And it's going to show me the bounding boxes with the human movement. Now, let's say I don't know what I'm looking for. I'll go ahead and just go region search and say, show me all human movement in this hallway. And then what's going to happen is we're going to populate tiles. We're going to populate tiles, and I can just click on this and I can see exactly all these snapshots within this little bounding box. So if you're looking at this person, it's cut off. It's because I'm only hovering the small little section. But we create these tiles to see everybody walking. Color search. All I have to do is go color search here. If we're doing inside, we're obviously looking at articles of clothing. If we're doing outside, we can do vehicles and we could do color of the vehicles. For this demonstration, obviously I'm inside. There's no cars driving through our office. So I'll just go clothing and I'll say, show me all clothing articles with the color purple. And then again, the same thing that happened for the vehicle, or sorry, for the hallway, I can see all purple icons as well. Now, again, the technology that we're utilizing, it's not just for articles of clothing, but it's color-based. So you can see in this tile right here, looks like maybe a purple candy or something like that. So the great thing is that not only are you looking for human activity, but let's say that somebody lost a red sweater, but it's not actually on their object. You can just say, show me all colors of purple, and you can start to scrub through the vision. You can start scrubbing through the camera right here. Now, let's say that something happens and I need to share footage with the local authorities, police department, sheriff department, or company's asset protection. I can go right down this scissor icon, save this clip. I can add to it. I can reduce it. I can save the clip. and then it gets stored inside of your saved archives for 2 years, complimentary at no additional charge. This is something that we do for our customers for free. And then additionally, if you want to save it to a local storage, all you have to do is just hit this download button. It converts it to an MP4 file. If I want to share this with local authorities, all I have to do is open up this clip, and then I can go share clip. You can call, so tailgating is when it detects one badge, but 2 people are walking in. I want to share this clip with our asset protection. I can title this, I can password protect this, or I can put an expiration date on this so that, heaven forbid, this clip doesn't go viral and ends up on some punk kid's TikTok video. So we just go share, and then we end up creating a temporary URL. So this URL, this website, is going to delete in 3 hours. So you can do 2 things here. You can just copy the URL and I can send it to whoever I need to, or you can just go send URL and then we can just type in the person's name and email, and then we can type in their phone number. We are a global organization. So if you're sending it international, all you have to do is just 1 and then the country code and then type in the number. So not just US based, but global based as well. So that's how you share a clip. It's as simple as that. Everybody that comes from an on-premise world, Frank, I know that you know this. Sometimes in order to get footage, you got to go on site. You got to open up the server. You got to open up the server's computer. And then you just got to hit rewind at 3x and hope you find what you're looking for. We take that guesswork out of it.
We've heard it over and over again in the demonstrations we've been doing as of late, Ben, where people are spending an inordinate amount of time having to get up, go into the office, look through the video footage, save the clip. I mean, just tons of time. You did that in relatively in just seconds.
Yeah, we want to give people's time back in their day to do the things that are necessary for the job itself and reduce anything else outside of that. Okay, all right, so going back to the cameras, I just showed a forward-facing mini dome. That's our R100 and R120. One thing to note is all of our cameras are indoor and outdoor rated. We're the only cloud manufacturer out there that doesn't force you to pick an indoor camera versus an outdoor camera. All of our cameras can work indoor. They can also work outdoor as well. So they're just extremely durable. We've got an industry-leading 10-year warranty. We stand behind our products extremely confidently. So now, if I'm going to go look for a 360, I just type in 360 here in the keyword search. And then this is one of our engineering rooms. So a very popular question that we get is, do we have PTZs? We do not have your traditional pan, tilt, zoom cameras because 2 reasons. Number 1, when you're panning and you're tilting, you have blind spots. So your traditional camera, if I'm looking here, I can't see anything behind me. So there's blind spots. The other thing is that there's so many mechanical parts in there. Most forward-facing mini domes or turrets or bullet cameras, they've got like a 10-year warranty, but the PTZ has like a 1-year warranty because all the mechanical parts inside of it, they're just prone to breaking. So what Rhombus has done is we've said, we're going to take a fisheye, but we're going to put it flat on the laptop or on your monitor and say, you can see 360 degrees in your office and you have no blind spots at any time. However, you still get the convenience of the pan, tilt, zoom. So if you just need to zoom in here and see what's going on, you just have to just digitally zoom, point and click. And actually, this is the camera itself that we're looking at. Obviously, the camera's on the wall, but if you're curious what it looks like, this is the model. Now, sometimes the immersive view isn't necessarily the easiest one. We've created another option as well. This is your traditional PTZ. For everybody that's trying to be GDPR compliant, PII compliant, privacy, HIPAA compliant, we do have privacy regions so that there's sensitive information going on in your environment. You can block this out and it's completely scrubbed from the footage. There's no God mode or super admin mode that can go behind the scenes and do that, and remove this. If that was the case, we wouldn't be PII compliant. We wouldn't be HIPAA compliant. The HIPAA compliance doesn't care about God mode. They care about privacy. And so we wanted to make sure that there's no God mode to enable those types of things. The last field of view is tile view. So we're the only organization that gives you 6 different tiles to look at your space. So we see that our cameras use a lot in high occupancy rooms Instead of having 4 cameras in 4 corners, just put one 360 in the middle of the room and then just create tiles and you can see everything. Additionally, if you want to manage the tiles and say, hey, I don't want, let me get out of this view here. I don't want 6 tiles. I want 4 tiles. I can just delete these 2, hit save, and then it changes to 4 tiles. Frank, you come from the industry. I know that you know that other organizations, they have to reboot the camera. Did you see how fast that was? There's 0 latency and there's 0 rebooting. Everything happens at the snap of a finger. All right, let me go ahead and minimize this.
That's awesome.
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, you know this, but we're extremely proud of the product that we've created. We're not the biggest fish in the pond, but we confidently feel like we're the best fish in the pond.
Not yet.
Not yet. It's only a matter of time. Okay, so that's the 360. Now I'm going to do a bullet cam R500. This is a workhorse. One thing that I want to call out before I show you the bullet cam is the size of the parking lot. So you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different parking spots. I've paced these off. They're about 10 feet wide, so that's 80 feet. We're in the back right corner here, and I'm going to be looking at the entry point, which is about 95 feet. The far side of this street right here is 125 feet. A lot of cloud organizations, they need 2 different cameras. You need a context camera and a license plate recognition camera. We don't force you to buy 2 different cameras. Our technology gives you the ability to do what you need with 2 cameras, only with 1 camera. So let me show you what I mean. Let's go parking. I'm going to do bullet cam. I've got this motor zoomed all the way in so that we can see further. So let me just go to yesterday. We'll find more activity and we'll just go, let's see what this shows us. Now let's go with, I want to go with one leaving. Okay. So here's a car leaving the parking lot. Again, that's just over 95 feet. I zoom in here. I can see it clear as day. Additionally, we're creating the index points and we're scrubbing the footage. So I've got 8YFJ676. So it's accurate. And then this goes inside of a database. So anytime I need to look for this car again, I just type in 676 and it's going to auto-populate this Toyota Yaris. Now let's go back and zoom out and let it keep going. I'm just going to let this run. I'm going to pause this in a second here. Let's go right there. So that's about 115 feet away, 110 feet away. Let me zoom in there. Frank, can you read that?
I can.
Yeah. And if we move it, we can still see it going. So you can kind of drag and drop. So we're doing vehicle recognition. Excuse me. We're doing vehicle recognition. We're doing license plate recognition. And then additionally, if I go over here, I can go human movement as well. So we're also doing the context and the license plate recognition. So what other companies need 2 cameras to do, we're doing it with 1 camera. And you can just freeze frame, see this gentleman walking. You can even read this small little sign. And then again, there you go. So this is our bullet cam R500. It can do optical zoom. You can do license plate recognition over 100 feet away. If you do it fully zoomed in, you can get about 200 feet away. So it's something that we're extremely proud of.
That's wild.
Thank you. Yeah, it's I'm not at Rhombus by mistake. I've got 12 years in the industry, just like our customers do. I evaluate this company. I said, that's the best company out in the market today. I'm just going to be a little greedy here and see if I can see this car. So this car is just driving by 8 MDW, looks like 889. I could be wrong. But again, the point is, you see how far away these cars are. We're very proud of the product that we've made because it helps us better serve our customers. And now moving over from the cameras themselves, I wanted to show you locations is pretty cut and dry. If you've got multiple locations, we integrate with Google Maps. You can open up the HQ and then you can just see all of your different cameras. You can open these guys up and it gets you a live view. Again, we're not just a camera organization, but we're environmental sensors, temperature sensors. So if you want to check the AQI in your environment, we can see temperature, humidity levels. Obviously, you don't want humidity in your data centers, your server rooms, your NDX rooms, MDX rooms, CO2, everything, AQI. And any time that, let's just say that air quality is no longer good quality, it'll ping our cameras and say, hey, there's something going on here. Here's the alert. So again, this idea of total physical security. And you can just see your organizations here. But what I wanted to jump over to was investigations. So I'll just use myself as an example. I'll just pull up faces. Everybody, and again, I want to make sure we're stressing privacy here. If your organization does not feel comfortable with facial recognition, we just delete it and it doesn't exist. Police departments, on the other hand, they love facial recognition. So we work with our police departments and they have a couple of different tags, which is person of interest, POI, or BOLO, be on the lookout. So let's say that I'm a suspect. I can go to all of my sightings for Ben and we can say, be on the lookout. And again, with our proactive notifications, let's say that we're a K-12 school and I'm a registered sex offender. You can go to Megan's List. You can buy a repository of all registered sex offenders. You can go into the database and you can upload all of those faces. We're going to scrape their polygon faces. And then we're going to say, anytime this individual pops up on campus, pops up in the areas, you'll know about it right away. Now, if I just want to find myself just walking through the organization, it's all going to be pretty underwhelming. We'll just do one. Let's see what this looks like. Again, you see the time bar with all the color-coded indexes. It looks like I'm just getting ready to walk back in the office. I badge in here, says, hey, this is Ben. I just get let in. And then that's the facial recognition. You have a few different things here. You've got the human movement, you've got the facial recognition, and you very clearly can see me minus these lines in my face. So if you're ever looking for an incident, all I have to do is just pull up the footage and say, where has Ben been? I can just go play footage and see what's going on here. And then we're most likely just going to see me just coming back in the office. So this is just me coming back in the office. So we remove the guesswork when it comes to scrubbing through footage. You have so many different ways to access your footage, whether it's through A, through your color coordinated index points, B, through region search, or C, just through going through investigations and going through the facial recognition database here, and then just pulling up. This is alphabetical, so you can just pull up everything here you need to. So that's the way that we do facial recognition. At a high level, that's the Rhombus console. I showed the inside camera, an exterior camera, a 360-degree camera. And then we've showed all of our different investigations. How do you share footage? And then additionally, how do you have different user permissions as well? So at that time, Frank, it leads us to the end of my presentation. We're happy to answer questions and Q&A. We've reserved this time for, I think, I don't know, 15 more minutes or so, but
yeah, we want to receive.
Yeah,
no, that's excellent. Ben, thank you. Every time I see a demonstration, I learn more about this incredible technology. So thank you for that. Yeah, we want to respect everybody's time. We got a bunch of different questions here. Let's see. What is the bandwidth consumption on these cameras? I mean, we covered a little bit of that. I guess it's why don't you speak on that, Ben? I suppose it depends on the amount of cameras, right?
Yeah, it's hard to quantify that answer in a nutshell. The bandwidth consumption in a vacuum is anywhere from 100 kilobits per second to 300 kilobits per second. Again, it's hard to quantify that. Different things change the environment, but at a high level, that's your answer. 100 kilobits to 300 kilobits.
Yeah, it astounds me, as I mentioned earlier, the little bit of bandwidth that it does consume. How are the cameras powered?
Good question. So it's PoE, so power over Ethernet. Again, we're removing the need for an NVR server. So that means that the camera plugs into a Cat5 or a Cat6 data cable, and it goes over to a PoE switch. We don't play favorites with the switches. It could be Cisco, HP, any switch that you guys are looking for. We play well with them. The only thing is we just want to make sure that the firewall plays nice with our IP cameras.
Good. Another question as they continue to funnel in. Do the cameras have night vision?
They do. So all of our cameras have 100 feet of infrared. I'm a big fan of talk is cheap. So let me let me actually pull up one of our cameras to show that.
Oh,
I'd rather, yeah, I can tell you how fantastic these cameras are. But again, talk is cheap where I come from. So I'll just go parking lot, and we'll go ahead and just go this parking lot here. Obviously, it's going to show daytime, but if I just click on, say, 3:53 a.m.
Oh, wow.
Here's our night vision. So yeah, when it comes to night vision cameras, low light, infrared, we knock it out of the park.
That's incredible right there.
Thank you. Yeah, again, we're very proud of the product that our engineering team has made.
Yep. We talked a little bit about distance, and I know there's different ranges. Somebody's asking about how far can these cameras cover. I think we talked about upwards of 120 feet on the one camera. What's the max?
Yes. So obviously different megapixels for different distances. So to be a little bit more specific, a 2 megapixel camera is probably not the best camera to use for facial recognition because you're using less pixels. But at the very furthest, the R500 that I showcased for that for the car in the parking lot, it can do a motor zoom of 308 feet away. Now, I don't like to just tell all of our benefits because I believe in transparency and honesty. So when you zoom in that far, you're very narrow focused. And so you miss out on the wider angle. And so what we work with PCL is doing site surveys. And Frank and his expert team can say, yes, you should have a motor zoom here. However, with the field of vision, we recommend doing this, this, or that. So yes, can we cover over 300 feet? Absolutely. We also just want to make sure you're being mindful of what that might change your field of vision of.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Weather. There's a couple of questions here about weather and how they might affect the camera's vision. I don't know if you can
so
that.
All of our cameras are IK10, IP66, indoor outdoor rated. So they're durable to withstand the elements. They can do, don't quote me on this, I'll try to find it afterwards, but I believe -40 Fahrenheit, and then 122 degrees Fahrenheit as well on the upside of it. Weather, things like dust and rain, we do have a glossy film that makes it water resistant. So things will bead off. So yes, do we do good with weather? Absolutely. It's generally an industry best practices that you want to try to clean those cameras. I don't know, once every 6 months or once a year or something like that. It's obviously indoor cameras you don't necessarily need to clean, if at all. But the shorter answer to your question is it does have a weather resistant film outside that helps with water resistant, dust resistant, particle, things like that.
Terrific.
Thank you.
Is Rhombus UNVIF standard?
No, we're not, and that's by design. I kind of go back to Steve Jobs and Apple, and when Apple was failing, people said, "Hey, you should just really open up your computers to work with the PC, so like Windows and things like that." And Steve Jobs said, "If we do that, we can't control the customer's experience." And so Rhombus Systems is very much like Apple, where we've decided methodically to not go ONVIF standard because we want to control our customer's experience. So if there's a problem with your camera, we can troubleshoot it remotely. So other ONVIF cameras, let's just say that you use Milestone or you use Eagle Eye Networks, and you've got this hodgepodge of Panasonic cameras or Sony cameras or Hikvision cameras or, whatever it is. When the camera goes down, who do you call? Milestone's not going to back up the cameras. And then if the software goes down, obviously, if you've got like a hike vision rep or something like that. So there's this whole like cat and mouse game for who owns the customer experience. We want to own the customer experience in tandem with PCL Solutions. So 9 out of 10 times when something happens to your camera, we can remote troubleshoot it. And if we can't remote troubleshoot it, we work with fantastic partners like Frank and PCL Solutions to get out there and swap them out, or to do some on-site troubleshooting as well. And so that's a long way of saying we're not on Viv standard, but there's a reason behind it. And it's a reason that we believe strongly in, which is controlling the customer experience.
That's great.
Thank you.
The questions keep coming in, Ben, and I want to respect everybody's time. We originally said 45 minutes. Why don't we just, because there's so much interest, what I'm going to suggest is that you get in touch with us and schedule that free consultation and demonstration. You can get in touch with me at any time at PCL Solutions. I'll put this in the chat to everybody. And we'll get Ben or another one of his team and people on our team, and we'll walk you through a one-on-one. We'll investigate or evaluate your security needs, talk a little bit more, and show you some of the specific questions, give you some specific examples of that, so we can take care of that. And also, if you schedule that with us, why not take advantage of grabbing either a free Hydro Flask or an Amazon gift card. If you scan that QR code, that'll bring you to the survey to schedule that. I'll also give you within the chat the URL, so you can click on that and again schedule a one-on-one consultation with Ben and his team and the PCL system engineers. So Ben, I can't thank you enough. That was great. We did it under an hour, like we said we would, within 45 minutes or so. So that's great. Again, anybody that has any questions, wants to speak to us directly, be more than happy. Incredible technology and an incredible demonstration. Really want to thank you and your team, Ben.
Yeah, thank you so much, Frank, for having us. Fantastic shop out there. PCL is our preferred partner in the New York, New Jersey area, and we're just grateful to work with fine people like yourselves.
Fantastic. We'll speak soon. Everybody, thanks for showing up today. We'll see you on our one-on-one demonstrations and consultations. All right, yeah. Until next time, have a great day.
Thank you so much.